Party chief meets with Party Central Committee's Economic Commission. Later on, BINH accelerates disbursement to speed up progress on key projects. And in our world news, opposition forces take control of Syria's Damascus, while world leaders call for stability.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is currently 3 p.m. local time, and you're tuning in to 30 minutes of VTV News. I'm Dylan Lei with the latest updates. Now, on Monday morning, General Secretary Tô Lâm emphasized the Party Central Committee's Economic Commission's critical role in strategic advisory work during a meeting. He praised the Commission's contributions to the Party Central Committee's leadership in addressing major socio-economic issues throughout nearly 40 years of reform. While acknowledging these achievements, he also noted several shortcomings and stressed the need to address 4 challenges identified since the party's 7th Congress. 2 key risks, economic stagnation and deviation from the socialist path, require the Commission's focused research and strategic guidance. General Secretary Tô Lâm outlined 6 core tasks and urged the Commission to pursue both a revolution in thinking and a revolution in organizational structure to meet modern demands. He called for innovative working methods to boost the Commission's efficiency, effectiveness, and impact. During the opening session of the Hanoi People's Council meeting, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn emphasized that Hanoi must proactively enact mechanisms and policies to implement the capital law and drive transformative development, setting an example for the region and the nation. Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn stressed the importance of accountability, urging officials to avoid shirking responsibilities and to support reform-minded, innovative leaders who act in the public interest. He also highlighted key tasks, including preparations for the upcoming party congresses, the 16th National Assembly elections, and local council elections for the 2026 to 2031 term. In the near term, he noted that Hanoi must finalize its review of Resolution 18 and streamline its political system for greater efficiency and effectiveness. Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn encouraged the Council to use this session as an opportunity to propose actionable, sustainable solutions to propel Hanoi's rapid development, ensuring the capital remains a driving force for the nation's advancement into a new era. Ho Chi Minh City's People's Committee has proposed that the Municipal People's Council allocate 2,300 staffing positions across 41 newly reorganized wards. These include 269 officials, over 1,000 administrative civil servants, and 982 non-specialized personnel. The proposed staffing is 435 positions fewer than the allocation outlined in Resolution 12 for the current year. The People's Committees of 10 districts, including districts 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, as well as BINH, Gò Vấp, and Phú Nhuận, are tasked with ensuring appropriate allocation and structure of personnel within their assigned quotas. They must also develop plans to restructure staffing for officials, civil servants, and non-specialized workers in the 41 wards formed after the administrative consolidation. After nearly 40 years of đổi mới or reform, streamlining the political system has involved numerous mergers and dissolutions across both the state and private sectors. The early restructuring of state-owned enterprises demonstrates that while change is difficult, strong political will can create development opportunities for individuals and the nation alike.
Prior to đổi mới reform, Cao Thang Market served as Hanoi's largest agricultural hub, where numerous families, including that of writer Nguyễn Ngọc Thiên, turned to commerce following widespread factory and enterprise closures.
At that time, my mother retired early, and my siblings left their jobs with a lump sum. She started buying goods to sell in the city. The new system allowed people to open small businesses, creating jobs and sparking a remarkable economic transformation.
The Sixth National Party Congress initiated Vietnam's economic reforms, including the restructuring of state-owned enterprises, a policy that has proven successful over the past 4 decades.
Allowing struggling businesses to persist drains state resources. Many mechanical and textile companies were restructured, which was the right decision and has led to the successes we see today.
Vietnam dissolved 6,000 out of 12,000 state-owned enterprises and restructured the remaining ones, reducing both the workforce and wages. In my view, this was nearly win-win, with minimal negative impact on citizens. Shrinking the state sector while expanding the private sector remains a valuable lesson today.
From the restructuring of state-owned enterprises during Doi Moi to today's institutional streamlining, innovation remains essential. While change presents challenges, strong determination creates opportunities to mobilize resources and guide the country toward a new development era.
Local authorities are accelerating disbursement to speed up key projects. In Quang Binh Province, the Coastal Road and Nhật Lệ 3 Bridge project is progressing ahead of schedule. Following directives from the government and Prime Minister, the province is also stepping up efforts to expedite public investment capital disbursement.
Component Project 1, Coastal Road, has disbursed over $52 million and will complete disbursement this year. The Nhật Lệ 3 Bridge, Component Project 2, is 70% complete and will finish construction in January 2025.
The construction team is deploying machinery, equipment, and workers to take advantage of favorable weather conditions to complete the remaining work, with the goal of finishing the project 6 months ahead of schedule.
Disbursement is progressing as planned, with over 80% completed. The Management Board has issued a directive urging contractors to work overtime.
Thanks to Quang Binh Province clearance efforts, key projects are now on track to finish early, provided weather conditions remain favorable.
The province has requested an additional $40.5 million from ministries and agencies for the project's 2025 budget. With prompt allocation of these funds, construction will continue, enabling the project's completion in 2025, a year ahead of schedule.
To ensure full disbursement of public investment capital in 2024, Quang Binh Province has established 3 working groups to address challenges and monitor weekly progress. The primary focus is on accelerating key projects to support socio-economic development and meet the government's goals.
Ho Chi Minh City has attracted over $490 million in industrial park investments as of early December, achieving 89% of its annual target, according to the city's Industrial and Export Processing Zones Management Board. The total investment is expected to reach $550 million by the end of the year, meeting the full target. Several large-scale projects are underway in export processing zones and industrial parks, with an estimated total investment of about 23,700 billion Vietnam dong. The Management Board also proposes expanding industrial land by 800 hectares to attract investments in specialized industrial parks and high-tech industries. Meanwhile, Vietnam's coffee industry is poised for a record-breaking year, with export revenues projected to exceed $5.5 billion in 2024. Currently, Vietnam is exporting coffee to over 80 countries, with 10 markets generating over $100 million each in revenue. The European Union remains Vietnam's largest coffee export market, accounting for $2 billion In trade, Vietnam continues to dominate as the world's leading Robusta coffee producer, ranking second only to Brazil in overall volume. Once primarily used for low-value items like baskets, trays, and basic constructions, bamboo and reed have undergone a dramatic economic transformation. Advanced processing technologies have greatly enhanced their durability and usability, increasing their value considerably. These materials now command high prices in global markets, particularly in the US and Europe, where they generate hundreds of millions of dollars in annual export revenue.
Advanced modification technology transforms bamboo and wood into materials that are more durable, harder, and visually appealing. These enhanced materials now rival high-end wood in quality and offer excellent resistance to heat and humidity for outdoor use. The newly launched bamboo processing factory in Thanh Hoa province, backed by an investment of over 41 million USD, marks a breakthrough in advanced processing capabilities.
Modification technology has enhanced the properties of bamboo, rattan, and wood, significantly improving their usability while efficiently utilizing raw materials from Thanh Hoa province and neighboring regions.
The company has secured 100 million USD in pre-orders from the US and Europe for 2025. This processing technology generates tens of millions in revenue through the sale of activated carbon credits.
In 2025, we anticipate selling carbon credits valued at up to $11 million. Our profile has already been listed with the US-based carbon credit certification agency Verra and is currently under review for approval.
With the adoption of advanced processing technology, scientists estimate that the value of bamboo and luong trees can increase by up to 20 times.
The hydrothermal method, combined with nano-inorganic technology for transforming bamboo and wood, has been patented in Vietnam. The factory now employs over 1,500 local workers, driving economic growth in the bamboo-rich region of Thanh Hoa and surrounding areas.
Up next, let's have a look at the exchange rate between the Vietnam dong and some world currencies in today's market. Coming up next on VTV News. Resilient farmers accelerate date preparations after typhoon setback. Later on, Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City are listed among the world's 100 most attractive cities. Moving on to other important updates, northern Vietnam will experience milder weather over the next 3 days before a new cold front intensifies later this week. Starting Friday, temperatures in the northern and north-central regions will drop significantly. Mountainous areas will experience sharp declines, with temperatures ranging from 14 to 17 degrees Celsius during the day and dipping below 17 degrees Celsius at night. Specific regions such as Sapa, Mộc Châu, Đồng Văn, Lũng Cú, and Tam Đảo, as well as the cities of Cao Bằng and Lạng Sơn, may face severe cold conditions with daytime temperatures falling below 15 degrees Celsius. As the market for agricultural goods, flowers, and ornamental plants heats up for Lunar New Year 2025, local farmers are entering a bustling production cycle to meet demands. Despite lingering damage from Typhoon Yagi, farmers are pressing forward to ensure a steady supply of fruits, vegetables, and festive plants.
Flowers replanted after the floods are now blooming in time for New Year celebrations. Local households have supplemented their stock with ornamental plants from neighboring regions. Farmer Mui has focused on cultivating short-term flower varieties. Despite higher labor and material costs this year, his garden remains committed to their craft.
We've managed to restore several varieties of flower seeds. We're growing 5,000 to 7,000 pots of each. We have divided our tasks to ensure we can supply enough flowers to meet market demand.
Citrus orchards that survived the storm have entered their harvest season. Despite lower yields, demand has reached record highs. This farmer's oranges are selling out rapidly, even though they won't fully ripen until mid-December.
Market prices have risen by up to 30% compared to last year. However, we haven't been able to accept large orders due to limited output. We've so far fulfilled only small orders with a total productivity of 2 tons.
After the typhoon, fruit-bearing plants are thriving thanks to farmers' attentive care. All farming households have largely recovered production and ensure an adequate supply for late holiday.
While obstacles remain, the sight of fresh blooms and ripe fruits inspires hope among farmers for a promising Lunar New Year season.
Everyone contributes according to their means. Those with merit contribute merit. Those with property contribute property. With this principle, Sokchang has successfully eliminated temporary and dilapidated houses from 2021 to 2024, building or repairing 5,250 homes. The locality will continue supporting housing construction and repairs for disadvantaged households in the coming year.
This family's main income comes from a small vegetable plot behind their house. They also work for extra income. Despite their hard work, life has been difficult, and their house fell into serious disrepair. The local authorities stepped in and provided them with a new home.
This house means so much to us. We never dreamed of having such a spacious home since we have limited means.
Between 2021 and 2024, Sokchang constructed 5,250 houses for poor and disadvantaged households, with a budget of around 11 million USD. The motto, "Everyone contributes what they can," strengthened the nation's tradition of "the whole leaves cover the torn leaves."
We organize mobilization efforts to reach households, ensuring that socio-political organizations, businesses, and benefactors understand the importance of supporting poor families with housing.
Sokchang Province prioritizes providing housing support for poor and disadvantaged households. The province has implemented a coordinated effort to meet these housing goals effectively.
The People's Committee of each hamlet is responsible for mobilizing resources and coordinating house construction.
A stable home enables people to concentrate on business and economic development, helping eliminate hunger, reduce poverty, and advance rural development.
The Central Highlands proudly preserves a rich tapestry of cultural heritage, both tangible and intangible, with its own distinct identity. This heritage includes vibrant festival traditions, renowned gong culture, ethnic musical instruments, and traditional folk arts. The villages in these areas are home to numerous individuals who possess a profound understanding of their cultural heritage.
Plong Ve, a Dak Rang village elder, is an expert in Zhejiang customs and culture. He was honored as a meritorious artisan in 2015. Though he hasn't received any benefits for artisans since then, his dedication to preserving and promoting his cultural heritage remains unwavering.
I must continually strive to improve and hone my craft. My goals are to create musical instruments that faithfully follow the traditions of my people and to pass on this knowledge to the younger generation, including the art of making gongs and other musical instruments.
Inspired by village elder Plong Ve, the people of Dak Rang village are dedicated to studying and sharing the traditional customs of the Zhejiang people. For them, preserving and passing down their cultural heritage is more important than seeking recognition.
I will never abandon the customs and traditions of the Triang people. In the future, I will pass them on to more people, teaching my younger brother, my children, and the children in the village.
Artisans craft valuable works while playing a vital role in preserving and passing down the nation's cultural values to future generations. Through their daily work, they protect both the tangible and intangible cultural heritage of the Central Highlands people.
Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City have been named among the world's 100 most attractive cities in a ranking released by market research firm Euromonitor International. Ho Chi Minh City climbed to 76th place, up 9 spots from last year, while Hanoi secured 83rd place, a leap of 15 positions. The rankings evaluate cities based on 6 key criteria: economic and business performance, tourism appeal, infrastructure, policies, health and safety, and sustainability. Other cities featured on the list include New York, Amsterdam, Sydney, Singapore, Tokyo, Rome, and Milan. Last year, Cat Ba Archipelago in Hai Phong City earned recognition as a UNESCO World Natural Heritage Site. The destination was hailed as a geological museum of global significance. Now, Hai Phong City is working to fulfill its UNESCO commitment by developing Cat Ba into a model of green tourism.
In Lan Ha Bay, 20 sanitation workers rotate shifts to collect waste daily. At Kai Bel Floating Village, more than 100 rafts now utilize eco-friendly materials and advanced wastewater treatment systems to maintain a clean, sustainable environment.
Leftover food and hazardous waste are carefully sealed and sent to the management board for processing. Over the decades, our family has benefited financially and contributed to protecting the environment.
It's very beautiful. I very like it. It's a most wonderful place in the world. You see, you feel very relaxed and comfortable here.
Cat Ba National Park is home to over 1,500 species of wildlife, including the Cat Ba langur, one of the world's rarest primates. This makes ecotourism and green initiatives crucial to preserving the area's biodiversity.
Hai Phong aims to position Cat Ba as a premium tourism destination. Our vision is to ensure a waste-free, carbon-neutral environment across the archipelago.
Cat Ba aims to become a world-class green tourism destination. The archipelago has already seen significant growth, welcoming over 3.4 million visitors since the start of the year, a 20% increase from the previous year.
Coming up next in a world news. Opposition forces take control of Syria's Damascus, and while world leaders call for stability. And later on, U.S. President-elect outlines policy changes during exclusive interview. Now, moving on to our world news, the situation in Syria has temporarily stabilized after opposition forces announced their takeover of the capital, Damascus, and imposed a 13-hour curfew. The international community is urging unity and stability in the region. More to follow.
Following their capture of the Syrian capital, opposition fighters announced a curfew in Damascus, effective from 4 p.m. on Sunday to 5 a.m. Monday, local time. Ahmad al-Shara, leader of Syria's largest opposition group, called on fighters to return to their bases following the takeover. Opposition forces were also instructed to refrain from entering key government buildings until the power transition process is finalized. Meanwhile, the Kremlin confirmed that Syrian President Bashar al-Assad is currently in Moscow under humanitarian asylum granted by Russia. Assad has reportedly stepped down and has directed a peaceful transfer of power. In light of the situation, world leaders are hoping that stability can be preserved in Syria. The Russian delegation at the United Nations has called for a Security Council meeting this afternoon to discuss the rapidly evolving situation in Syria. Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a statement expressing support for the Syrian people while urging all parties to collaborate in maintaining national solidarity. Meanwhile, in Europe, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz stressed the urgent need to restore law and order in Syria. He pledged Germany's commitment to contributing to this effort alongside international partners, in alignment with UN Security Council resolutions.
U.S. President-elect Donald Trump recently detailed a number of changes he will make after taking office on January the 20th. In an exclusive interview with NBC News, Meet the Press, Trump said he plans to deport millions of undocumented immigrants, starting with those with criminal records. In terms of diplomatic policies, President-elect Donald Trump said the U.S. will remain in NATO if other members pay their bills. He also implied that Ukraine should probably prepare for less military aid from the U.S. on his second term in office. Donald Trump said he could not guarantee that Americans wouldn't pay higher prices under his proposed tariffs. He affirmed that he would not make cuts to Social Security programs and that he would consider raising federal minimum wage. According to rough estimates, economic costs to cities worldwide from rising seas and inland flooding could reach $1 trillion by 2050. The Danish capital, Copenhagen, is already adapting to a changing climate. In the following report, let's explore the city's flood tunnels, the latest in a series of climate-resilient initiatives.
20 meters below the city's surface, workers in Copenhagen are constructing a tunnel to protect the Danish capital from future flooding. Kalvebod Brygge Tunnel stretches 1.3 kilometers beneath the city before draining at the Kalvebod Brygge waterfront area. It has the capacity to store 10,000 cubic meters of water during heavy rain, known as a cloudburst.
Instead, divert the water here into this tunnel. We have 10,000 cubic meters of volume, and when the tunnel is full, if that's still not enough, like the original idea is to store it here.
Construction began in spring 2020, with completion expected by 2027. It's an expensive project, but those behind it argue that not building it would prove even more costly.
Building a tunnel is of course a huge cost, but doing nothing is also something that has a huge cost. And if we keep with the 2011 example, just in a single day, it was 2nd of July, and in that single day we had €1 billion in insurance claims just from one event.
Copenhagen is implementing around 300 cloudburst projects across a 20-year period. With Copenhagen expected to receive 30% more rainfall over the next century, this infrastructure will help protect basements, homes, and other structures.
Now up next, let's have a look at the weather forecast. And that is all that we have this hour on VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can visit our website, our YouTube channel, or download the mobile app VTVgo for more. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.